We want to talk about
The following is a presentation of the PAC Sports Network.
Good afternoon and welcome into some PAC Sports Network college basketball coverage as the Washington and Jefferson Presidents play host to the Chatham University Cougars in a men's and women's doubleheader today. Both games can be heard and watched on the PAC Sports Network at pacstream.net. Donnie Chedrick and Jared Barton with you. Amanda Sloan, our producer, and Nate Rigotti on camera for this afternoon's women's matchup. Two teams that find themselves in the top half of the PAC in terms of standings. W&J, a team battling for the first place spot after a win over St. Vincent on Monday. Another victory as W&J has won 11 consecutive games following a 56-43 win over Geneva on Wednesday. The team is 9-1 in conference. However, overall, 2 games behind St. Vincent, who sits at 15-3 overall. Both of those teams at 9-1 in conference play. Grove City and Bethany behind W&J in 3rd and 4th place. Grove City 6-4 in conference. Bethany at 5-4. Chatham at 5-5. Westminster also 5-5, and the Titans are at Waynesburg today. Teal and Geneva, the bottom 2 teams. Teal is 2-7. Geneva winless right now in conference play at 0-10, just 2-15 overall. Other games on the docket today: Grove City and Bethany, St. Vincent and Teal, Westminster at Waynesburg. Geneva hosting a now non-conference matchup against Thomas More, a team that ran through this conference for the better part of the last decade. So those are a couple of teams that are meeting up today. And a couple of games from Wednesday: Westminster defeating Teal 57-55. St. Vincent a 54-47 win at home against Grove City. Chatham falling at home against Waynesburg 70-59, and W&J defeating Teal 56-43. So W&J in the midst of an 11-game winning streak. Chatham losing to Waynesburg the other night, and the Presidents have a shot to claim first place in the PAC, and if they do so in the regular season, this team will host the PAC tournament come late February. Jared, based on where these teams are at and coming into this game, some keys going into this game for both sides.
Yeah, well, with W&J, we'll start out with them since they're towards the top of the standings, tied, as you mentioned, in first place at St. Vincent. It's going to be important to protect home court, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do here this afternoon against a pretty decent Chatham team who's really fighting for playoff positioning right now at 5-5, as you mentioned, right there in the middle of the thick of things. So for the Presidents, and we got to stop and talk about that 11-game win streak. It's hard to put together wins, especially in the game of basketball like that. To see them at 11 in a row is just amazing. This team has gelled. Yeah, they've had a couple of problems injury-wise, but other than that, they've gotten through those problems, and they're looking like they're surging right now towards the finish line as we approach just about a month away from the PAC tournament.
And it was a W&J team that also lost a few games early in the season. And Coach DeRubo, when she sat down with Randy Gore, which that interview will be heard in its entirety today at the half of this game, she said that was something that her teams don't normally face. A couple of losses in the early part of the season, but coming on strong, like you said, 11 in a row, a team that is flying towards the finish, and a team that after a victory over St. Vincent, you got to think they're on cloud 9. However, that St. Vincent game coming with a very costly injury. Lauren Gilbert, the sophomore guard out of Baldwin, who has been a real backbone for this W&J squad, she goes down with what Coach DeRubo confirmed was a torn ACL. So she is done for the season, of course. That's a huge loss, but she believes that her team can rally around that and get past it.
Yeah, I think this team definitely has enough firepower, and they showed it in the game on Wednesday against Geneva, beating them 56-43. And you could say, okay, Geneva is not exactly the best team in the league, but still, a win's a win, and you need those conference wins to continue to propel yourself forward. They're looking like they haven't skipped a beat, even though they lost a very critical player in Gilbert.
Coach DeRubo in her 15th season at W&J, the reigning PAC Coach of the Year. She's won that award 7 times, also coaching for 7 seasons at Bethany before coming to Washington and Jefferson. Coach David Sauer in his first season as head coach of the Chatham University Cougars, also in his very first season of being a head coach in collegiate basketball. So you see two ends of the spectrum here. Very veteran coach in Gina DeRubo and a rookie head coach in David Sauer. But talking with him a little bit in pregame today, he said his team sort of, a team he mentioned and sort of joked, his team likes playing on Saturdays. We said how we like Saturdays. He said he loves them, and so does his team.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Sig sisters get amped up for Saturday. That's who's going to really need to take the spotlight for the Cougars if they're going to pull out a victory here on the road. They have just been, you mentioned how Gilbert was the backbone of W&J. Well, Sigs, they are the backbone of Chatham. So it's going to be very critical for them to be out there and be effective early and often.
The all-time series is in favor of W&J as the Presidents, in fact, lead the Cougars 30-0. So Chatham has never won a game in this series in women's basketball. And just looking at the last few meetings between these squads, facing off earlier this season in December, W&J getting an 8-point win on the road where the Presidents did not shoot the ball well, only shooting 44% from the field. Not horrible, but just 3 of 16 from beyond the arc. And in that game, somebody who might play a big factor in today's game with Lauren Gilbert now being sidelined, Izzy Allen had her first career double-double. She had 14 points, 11 rebounds, and then the names you mentioned for Chatham, the mainstays, Ashley McLean had 15. Then the Sig sisters also having good games. Katie with 14, Megan with 10. Then 2 games last year, they were both blowouts and big W&J victories. However, in those games, Lauren Gilbert was the leading scorer both times for the Presidents. Gilbert had 18 points in the 84-49 win over Chatham that was last February. She had 15 points last January, the 86-53 win over Chatham. So she is out. But for Chatham, again, those mainstay names. Katie Sig in both of those games was in double figures, leading Chatham. She had 12 points in the loss in February, 15 points in the loss in January. Ashley McLean also had 11 in the 84-49 loss. So the Presidents certainly a team that has more firepower. They have the coaching edge in terms of veteran leadership with Gina DeRubo because she has been phenomenal pretty much her entire career. Arguably the best coach year in and year out with the PAC, as what has been proven 7 times, and a brand new coach in Chatham, David Sauer, who is in his very first year with the Sig sisters that have helped him through this very first season, because Chatham already having a very good mark compared to where this team is normally at. So Coach Sauer able to pick up pretty much where this squad left off and even having a better season in that. 9-10 overall, 5-5 in PAC play. This team has stayed competitive, and also something that you can probably note, not sure what kind of factor it will play into today, but this team pretty good on the road, 6-2, so he's able to rely on a couple of those veterans, even though he's a rookie head coach.
You know that Coach Sauer, in his first season here with the Cougars, would love to snap that 30-game losing streak against a team like W&J here at their home court. That's going to be huge, and I'm sure he has his team amped up and ready for this one as we're about to get started here at W&J.
And certainly a team that would be hoping for a Chatham upset today is the St. Vincent Bearcats. That team is at Teal. That game also getting underway pretty much right now. Another 1 p.m. start in Bethany as the Bison are hosting at Grove City. Westminster at Waynesburg. That game will get tipped at 1:30, and then another 1:30 game. Geneva hosting a non-conference opponent, former conference foe Thomas More. So those are the games on the schedule today around the President's Athletic Conference. W&J, 11 in a row. Chatham coming off a loss at home to Waynesburg. We will see what gives today, but we'll step aside as we are getting set for our national anthem here from Washington and Jefferson College.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
Now fully co-ed, Chatham University offers over 40 majors in the health sciences, sustainability, business, and the arts and sciences. Qualified undergraduates can also be admitted into our integrated undergraduate and graduate programs in physical and occupational therapy, physician assistant studies, and more. Live on our historic Shadyside campus or our Eden Hall campus, the first in the world built for the study of sustainability. Strong academics, Division III men's and women's sports, one-of-a-kind campus locations. Chatham.edu.
We are leaders and teachers, dreamers and winners. We are the coaches of women's basketball, united for the good of our game and those who play it. We are the WBCA.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Welcome back on the PAC Sports Network. Donnie Chedrick and Jared Barton with you. Amanda Sloan, our producer. Nate Rigotti, our cameraman. Nate will be switching spots with me for the men's action today in the men's-women's doubleheader from the Henry Memorial Center here on the campus of Washington and Jefferson, as the Cougars and Presidents will meet in men's action later on. Starting lineups being introduced now for the Chatham Cougars, who come into today 5-5 in conference play, 9-10 overall. Head coach David Sauer in season number 1. His starting 5, Olivia Barkley, the 5'9 senior. Katie Sigg, the 5'7 senior. Megan Sigg, the 5'8 grad student. So both Sigg sisters, of course, getting the starts. Ashley McLean, the 5'6 senior. And Sierra Ungerman, the 5'10 junior. So a pretty veteran lineup for the Chatham Cougars. Really can't get any more veteran than that. He does have one junior in there, but a grad student and then 3 seniors to go with that. For W&J, Kylie McKinnon, the 5'4 freshman. Ali Cito, the 5'10 sophomore. Hannah Johnston, the 5'8 sophomore. Alina McDaniel, the 5'8 freshman, and Danielle Parker, the 5'11 senior. And Parker has been somebody who gets great praise from Coach DeRubo, and somebody that she has said with the injuries on this squad, especially to Lauren Gilbert as of late, Danielle Parker, somebody that this team will likely lean on as things go out, and that's somebody who can handle it. She can really play everywhere, down low in the post, and then also can shoot the ball from beyond the arc.
Especially when you're looking at the rest of their starting five, and it's mostly freshmen and sophomores. She's the elder player, elder statesman out on the court for the Presidents, so they're going to definitely rely on her experience and her age to be a factor in this game.
Coach Gina DeRubo's squad coming into this game 13-5 overall, 9-1 in President's Athletic Conference play. And of course, Coach DeRubo in her 15th season at W&J, a 7-time PAC Coach of the Year award winner, including this past season when DeRubo won it once again. So the Presidents and the Cougars getting set to get underway. The Cougars going with black road tops and shorts, going with the purple lettering and numbers. A little bit tough to see the numbers. I see you grinning at me, Jared, because it's just outlined in purple with the black numbers.
If you remember, you think back to the beginning of December, we were at a game, Westminster and Teal, and the Tomcats rolled out some pretty nifty uniforms where you really couldn't see the numbers either. They were pretty much all, what do you want to call that, beige or yellow that the Tomcats use. This is almost as comparable, but the black on black with purple trim. It's not exactly too favorable for us.
Yeah, they're certainly nice-looking uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
But that's something that plays into our challenge a little bit. The President's going with the home whites, tops and bottoms, the black trim and the red lettering and numbers. The tip is won by Ali Cito, and things are underway as the Presidents take control. Johnston on the wing. She goes to the top of the key. Passing it around. Cito thought about the three. Now a deep two being taken. That one no good. McDaniel missing that one. And now a putback. That's up and in. And the Presidents lead it 2-0.
Just a quick rebound by Ali Cito, and she dished it in.
And now the Cougars throwing it around. A shot put up, and that's good. A three ball by Katie Sigg.
Need to see plenty of that. This is a team that is very, very used to shooting the three. They've taken the most threes in the PAC, and they've made the most threes in the PAC. I'm sure the Sigg sisters have a lot to do with that.
Parker along the baseline getting double team, gets the ball away, trying to pass it to McKinnon. The freshman drives in. A pass down low, and we get a foul down low, and the Presidents will keep possession.
That foul's going to be on number 12, Ashley McLean, the senior guard for the Cougars. Floor foul, though, as Presidents were trying to complete a pass.
Alina McDaniel was the player that was fouled, and a pass coming in knocked away as Chatham trying to make that far too difficult.
Just reset, tried again.
Inbound goes to McDaniel. She's going to drive in, now bounce it out to Johnston. Johnston, step and dribble, looking for a passing lane. Finding Cito to Parker in the paint, good.
Quick turnaround shot by Danielle Parker. You're going to need to see more of that. Those points are critical inside the paint. Looking good so far for W&J.
The Cougars along the arc. A three in the corner is no good, but a foul. And that is going to be 3 shots for Katie Sigg.
Always critical to come up and perform well on the line when you get that sort of opportunity. Fouled on the 3-point shot as the first one falls.
So the first one good for Katie Sigg, the 5'7" senior out of Sarah Catholic. A tremendous career at Chatham. She now has all 5 of the Cougars' points and a chance to put her team ahead by 2. Sigg, a 75% free throw shooter, near 76, and she makes all 3 there. 6 points. And Chatham has the 6-4 lead. Parker throws it in. A layup is put up by the freshman, no good. That was McKinnon. The ball bouncing around, and the Presidents take it over. It's driving in, no good again. It was Cito. Bouncing it back around. Parker beyond the arc. And now McKinnon at the top. On the wing she goes to Johnston. 15 on the shot clock in the corner. A three taken. This off the rim and no good. A shot from McDaniel missed. Here come the Cougars back the other way. Sig to McLean in the corner. Money! Coach Sauer talked about his team liking to play on Saturdays. So far, a pretty good start. 9-4 lead in the early going.
And it's been a very exciting, really back and forth matchup between these two teams so far. Can't wait to see how this one plays out.
Parker down to Cito. Shot is good and the foul. And a chance for the old-fashioned three for the sophomore out of Brownsville.
Come to the line, W&J. They've taken the most free throws in the PAC and made the most, so see if they can add to those numbers here.
The last time we were here with the network, a good game for Cito. She had 20-plus in a W&J victory over Waynesburg, was our Foster Law Office's player of the game. Cross-court pass, it gets knocked away.
By Cito, as you were talking about her.
You can certainly see why this could be some difficulty with the numbers being in black and outlined in dark purple. Sig driving in, now back out. Three ball taken off the back of the rim and no good. And here come the Presidents the other way. Johnston. Parker into the corner, a three taken. This off the front end of the rim, no good. McKinnon a rebound. Now Cito, a handoff to Johnston and a travel.
It's one too many steps there. Didn't really set her feet when she got the pass, and that's what led to the travel call.
McLean across to Sig. Now back out into the corner. Some tough defense from W&J, making it difficult for the Cougars to go inside. Sig three, no good. That's off the mark. Megan Sig taking the shot that time.
As expected so far, we've seen a lot of outside shooting from the Cougars. It's been pretty effective so far as well.
Trying to beat the press, they do. Getting past are the Presidents. Down by a pair. McKinnon drives the baseline outside. Thought about the outside shot. A pass inside to Parker gets knocked astray. And the Presidents will keep possession. And we see Sierra Short check into the game. Sierra Ungerman checking out.
For the first few minutes of this game, the Presidents, a lot of crisp passing. You've been seeing it all over the court. Haven't been afraid of tossing the rock around. Having a good job and being pretty effective with their passing in this game so far.
Carly Stetler, the new player in for the Presidents. Three put up by Parker is off the rim and backboard, but no good. Across to McLean. Megan Sig going to drive in. Up here, she was on the baseline and stepped out. Presidents have it back. Nearing the halfway point of this first quarter of play. Presidents down by 2. Cito, she'll take a three and she'll knock it down.
Fantastic form from Cito, who's been on fire for W&J so far. Up to 8 points.
8 of the 10 W&J points. Three ball put up by the Cougars, no good. It was McLean that missed that one. Sig now has possession again. McLean outside the arc. To the other Sig. Megan Sig takes a three, but no good. Rebound by Cito.
We've seen a lot of good rebound attempts and opportunities for W&J. They're taking advantage of it down low, keeping their players in check, their opponents in check, getting the ball back into their hands.
And Cito cutting in on a nice pass from Danielle Parker. She gets fouled. Cito back to the line, a chance to reach double digits. Second foul on Olivia Barkley. First one is made from Ali Cito, who shoots around 74% from the foul line. Maria Lawhorn checking in for W&J, and first player into double figures today, Ali Cito. 10 points, 12-9, President's lead. Megan Sig outside, 3-ball put up, side of the rim and no good. McKinnon into the corner, 3 for Jay, side rim miss. Lawhorn a key rebound and put back for her first 2.
Out there, she wasn't in the starting 5, but the sophomore making her presence known early on in this game. First points of the night.
Caitlin Fertig at the top. And Megan Sig outside to McLean. Katie Sig. Fertig, a 3 from the corner, yes.
So you like to see plenty of shots from beyond the arc here for Chatham, and they're looking nice coming off the hands.
The freshman out of Bethel Park makes it a 2-point game again. Foul down low on the floor. And they get Fertig with the foul. Inbound pass coming from Carly Stetler. Lawhorn handled it for a moment. Now McKinnon. Lawhorn out to Cito for 3. Side rim, top of the backboard, bouncing around, and the Cougars eventually get the rebound. Sometimes you see that get called out of bounds, but that time they let it go. A rushed layup goes no good.
Especially if it hits there's that cable shooting out from the top of the basket. If it hits that, it's definitely out of bounds, and I'm not sure if it did or not.
Danielle Parker cutting in and called for the travel. And we see Ungerman come back into the game for the Cougars. Sierra Short will take a break. 14-12, W&J lead.
Good back and forth action here, Donnie, throughout this first quarter. I really like the competitiveness that both of these teams have brought to the court here on this Saturday.
And Coach Sauer has to be happy with the selections they're getting so far. Katie Sig off on the 3 from the corner, no good. You talked about the attempts from behind the arc for this Chatham team, and we're certainly seeing that in the early going.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know, if that's where your strong point is, if that's where your specialty is, obviously you're going to go after it. But you have to also remember, it may not be the best shot to take all the time. Sometimes you get players that love to go and really keep shooting from outside, but you know, if you miss too many times out there, you might lose on an opportunity inside. So you just got to have a good balance of those two things, but really hasn't affected Chatham so far in this game at all.
Unfortunately for Chatham, the 5th team foul has put the Presidents in the bonus, and both free throws knocked down by Carly Stetler, the freshman out of Mohawk, and it's a 4-point advantage for the Presidents.
You were mentioning Bethel Park earlier. A lot of WPIAL representation on both of these teams. Love to see it here in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, very, very heavy on both sides. Steal by Cito. A race up the floor against McLean. Cito off the mark on the layup, and now a battle for the rebound. Lawhorn from the foul line knocks it down.
Fantastic form from Lawhorn. She saw the opportunity right at the charity stripe, decided to pull it up and shoot it for an easy 2.
She has 4 off the bench for W&J. Inside to Ungerman. Left-handed shot blocked away. The Presidents slow it down a bit. McKinnon, one of the players not from the WPIAL, a Wheeling Park alum. Shot put up by Lawhorn from the elbow, no good.
Big rebound for the Cougars. Let's see if they can do something up the floor.
Sig to Sig. Now McLean on the right wing. At the top it is Fertig. Now Katie Sig. Drives in. Off the glass, no good. Battle for the rebound. Cito comes down with it. Under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Presidents have a 6-point lead. And David Sauer is calling for his defensive unit to come up big, and they do. A steal by Sig. Here goes McLean. Fast break. Missing the layup, but a foul is called underneath.
For McLean, you know, you had pressure obviously from the Presidents, but just slow it down a little bit and you have an easy basket there. You're saved by the foul, keeps possession in your hands, but could have had 2 more points. You just slow it down just a little bit, even though it is a fast break.
And just the second team foul for the Presidents. That came after the shot, so it was on the floor. Chatham with possession. Katie Sigg gets it to Barkley, who drives in, puts up a shot where she is fouled, and that will result in a couple of free throws for Olivia Barkley.
President's foul on number 13, Danielle Parker. Her first.
Parker getting called for her first foul. First shot for Barkley, in and out.
And we mentioned how W&J is first in the conference in free throws and free throws made. Well, Chatham's not too far behind with their third in terms of free throw attempts as the second one falls.
Barkley with her first point. A 53% free throw shooter, so right around that mark. Basically 1 for 2 in each trip. Presidents have a 5-point advantage. Lawhorn, turnaround off the glass and good.
Gotta love what she's bringing to the court. Maria Lawhorn coming off the bench and being very effective. Ball just rolling off her fingertips and floating in for some nice buckets.
Barkley shoots it back out to Sigg. A 3 from the corner is no good. Rebound for W&J. Pass all the way down. Lawhorn a deep 2. No good. Out of bounds to the Chatham Cougars. Lawhorn certainly a spark off the bench. 6 points in the early going. McLean brings it across half court. Katie Sigg on the wing. Megan Sigg will drive in. Now back to Katie. Stops at the elbow. Megan Sigg on the right wing. Sigg to Sigg on this possession. Katie drives in and is fouled going up.
Great shot down the left alley, trying to take it to the hole and get a quick 2 points. And for that, you're rewarded. Take the foul, head to the free throw line.
Izzy Allen, who was recently added into this game, called for the foul. Miss for Katie Sigg. We see Alina McDaniel check in, and Allen goes back out. Second one was good. 7 points in the first quarter for Katie Sigg. Three ball taken far side, no good. Rebound as Stetler was off the mark. And puts up a shot at the buzzer, and that's nearly one that goes in. Looked like Gordy Hayward in the national title game that one year. 20-14 the score after 1 quarter of play, as the Presidents have the lead on the Cougars of Chatham University, as you're listening on the PAC Sports Network.
We're the coaches of women's basketball. We are leaders and teachers, dreamers and winners. We are professionals who conduct ourselves ethically and with integrity. We place the education, safety, and well-being of the athletes we coach above all else and teach them the fundamental values they need to succeed in life. We are coaches united for the good of our game and those who play it. We are the WBCA.
The biggest thing with Consolidated is their customer service. They treat you like a preferred client, even if you're just starting with them.
They've truly taken the time to understand who we are as a business and recommend the best product and services based upon that knowledge of who we are.
Being able to rely on a technology partner like CCI to provide the fiber backbone means that our internet signal is completely reliable. I can't recommend any other parties. Consolidated is my first choice.
Back for the start of our second quarter of play on the PAC Sports Network. Donnie Chedrick and Jared Barton with you from the Henry Memorial Center. And W&J having a 20-14 lead over the Chatham Cougars. Amanda Sloan, our producer this afternoon. Nate Rigotti on camera. Nate and Jared will have the men's action later on today between the Cougars and Presidents. Chatham starts the second with possession. Katie Sigg, a corner three. That time she got it. And she has double figures, 10 points. And the lead is down to 3 for W&J.
She's the first Cougar to reach the double figure mark.
Offensive rebound for Ali Cito. Bounce back out McKinnon. Three put up for Jay. Knocked it down. Tori Bolton.
Freshman guard coming off the bench. Talk about a nice first shot.
Sigg thought about another three. This time she drives in against Cito and Parker and gets fouled.
W&J foul number 10, Ali Cito.
Cito picking up a foul, her first. And Sigg knocks down the free throw.
Second shot good, too, there for Megan.
12 points.
Excuse me, Katie.
Megan, in fact, held scoreless to this point in the game. 12 points for Katie Sigg, and just two other players have points. Cito putting up a shot good off the glass.
She's up to 12.
Sigg, another three. No good.
Look, if you have the hot hand, you're going to try it. Can't complain with that look. But W&J, just as they were in the first quarter, right there to catch as many rebounds as possible.
Parker in the corner. McDaniel out on the wing, and at the top, McKinnon. Passing it around the arc. Under 10 on the shot clock. Inside to Cito. She is going to drive in, stolen away. McLean bumped. And that foul is going to be on Alina McDaniel.
Yeah, just a little bit of a push from behind. Caught up around midcourt.
Two fouls in the quarter for W&J. A 6-point President's lead. Sigg in the corner. Always in that spot thinking about the three. Short drives. Tries to get a shot off, but it is knocked away. And then a little unforced error that time gives Chatham the ball right back off the leg of Kylie McKinnon.
And you have to go after that. You have to realize that you're the only player for your team in between yourself and the baseline. So to let that one go is just a missed opportunity on W&J's side.
Sigg to McLean in the corner. Three, good.
Great shot.
McLean has 6. Chatham continues to hang around in the first half.
You got to think that Coach Sauer really happy with the performance so far.
Parker a three and no good. Fight for the rebound. It is out on W&J, and the Cougars get possession, down by a possession.
And they call foul on Cito.
And that's her second. So Cito comes to the bench.
Over the back as they were trying to go up for the rebound.
Chatham trailing 25-22. Here's a three, and it's tied. Fertig has 6.
Can't complain with that shot. The three's open, you take it, especially if it's one that's going to tie this contest up.
A team like Chatham, if you get hot from beyond the arc, a missed three for the Presidents in the corner, you can come back in games, and you can certainly hang around in a few games. Sigg almost pulled up. Into the corner, Megan Sigg. She drives back outside. McLean, right wing. Megan Sigg inside to Ungerman. A bounce pass down low, but losing possession there and coming up with the steal is Lawhorn.
That was risky business trying to get a second pass in there.
McKinnon off the glass, her first pair of points.
Gives the Presidents a little bit of a relief after letting up the last few baskets.
Again, some fumbling down low for the Cougars, and the Presidents get it back. Very fast-paced over the last few possessions. Parker in the paint, bouncing it back out. Across. Now back across again. McKinnon. Somebody open in the corner, but McKinnon takes it up and misses the layup. Rebound, Katie Sigg comes up with it. Down the court, Megan Sig bounces it out of bounds, and the Presidents get it right back. And somebody needs to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. But let's go back to the last possession there with W&J. Kylie McKinnon with some sweet dipping and ducking moves. Unfortunately, couldn't finish at the rim on the layup, but great moves to break inside and find yourself open for a shot.
McDaniel into Bolton in the corner. Now back to McDaniel. She drives in, misses one from the right block.
And now we saw plenty of rebounds in the first quarter from the Presidents. You're seeing them now from the Cougars, and they're getting their opportunities off of them.
McLean for the lead, and it gets stuck.
Never like to see that happen.
Nobody getting that rebound. Stuck in between the right side of the rim and the backboard. Now we get to see our favorite game and see how many attempts it takes.
Better question, who's going to do the honors? Looks like the official. Oh, too easy.
One and done.
Too easy. He's a pro at that. He knows what to do. That basketball came from the crowd. You'd think it would come off one of the benches.
Interesting spot for it. Presidents have possession. Defense surrounding the Presidents, but wide open down low is Maria Lawhorn. She has 8 points and a great find by Danielle Parker to make it a 4-point lead.
Yeah, just a mishap by the Cougar defense. You can't leave somebody that wide open down low. Going to pay for it every time.
McLean on the left wing. Megan Sig a three. Bounces off the front of the rim and backboard, but no good. Presidents are pushing the pressure here. Danielle Parker a three. Money! The sweet spot for Danielle Parker. Loves standing around that left wing when it's to take a three, and it's a 7-point W&J advantage.
It's her first three ball of the game, puts her at 5 for the day.
Sort of a slow offensive start for Parker, as knocking down a three is Megan Sig. She comes alive.
First points of the afternoon for Megan.
McKinnon driving in, now back out. Parker, another three. No good.
Guess no one wants to take any inside shots anymore.
Some NBA type action. Barkley outside, Megan Sig a three. Got it! A couple of threes and a timeout on the floor by Coach DeRubo. Back down to a 1-point lead. 32-31 W&J. We'll take a break as well on the PAC Sports Network.
Well, who do you think you are? Walk through these gates and you'll find out. It'll take, 4 years. 4 years of rigorous academics, of grand tradition, citizenship, of making friends for life, and let's not forget, having fun. While you're doing all this, we have a job too, to ensure your success. And make no mistake, we're good at it. Welcome to Bethany, a small college of national distinction.
You made the three-point shooting for the Chatham Cougars one of your keys to the game for this squad. A team that truly lives and dies by the three. Right now, very much in life with the three ball, down by just a point against W&J.
Yeah, they're looking good from beyond the arc, and what's huge is Megan Sig finally awoke after having a scoreless first quarter with back-to-back three-point shots.
Trying to get the ball to Lawhorn, but knocked away, and now the Cougars have a chance to take the advantage. Over halfway through the second quarter, Ungerman, now McLean from beyond the arc. She's going to drive in, trying to get a pass down low, but knocked away by some hands that were up, and the Presidents have the ball. Into the corner, another three taken. No good off the back rim. That one off the mark from Hannah Johnston. Here come the Cougars. Katie Sig, three. Count it. 15 in the first half for Katie Sig, and the Cougars have a 2-point lead.
And when you're that wide open at the top of the arc, you gotta love to see that one fall. Great job by Sig. Get their team back in the lead.
Lawhorn down low, fouled by Ungerman, who got a hand in. And Lawhorn will head to the free throw line.
Seen Lawhorn take a shot from the free throw line already, except it wasn't a foul shot. Made it quite easily. The first one falls.
Lawhorn, a 64% free throw shooter, and trying to get into double figures, and she does.
Player off the bench with double figures. You really can't complain about that. You love to see it.
34 all. Under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Pushing it back the other way. Stetler a three. In and out. Fight for the rebound. Jay has it. And the Presidents will keep it. McKinnon slowing things down across the court in the corner. Now Stetler on the wing. We're seeing good defense both ways, and a great play there by Sierra Ungerman to give Chatham the basketball.
Gives them another opportunity to try to get back out in the lead. You want this lead going into halftime if you're the away team in this situation.
And Coach Sauer has to love where his team is at right now. The three ball could get risky, but if you were hitting it, you can stay in the game, putting up a shot, but traveling.
One too many steps for Kate Sig there.
Katie Sig didn't like the call. She thought it would be a foul.
She was trying to, I guess, force that contact with the defensive player, but the official thought otherwise.
Into the corner for the Presidents. It's Johnston. Now back out to Stetler and across to McKinnon. Parker. Stetler, wing three. No good. Front of the rim. Lawhorn, a tough rebound. Another rebound for the Presidents, and putting up a shot. Missing but getting fouled is Hannah Johnston.
She'll be rewarded. 2 shots there. Foul on Barkley.
Cougars foul on number 4, Olivia Barkley.
Third foul of the game for Barkley. First shot is good for Hannah Johnston, who shoots 84% from the free throw line. Next shot good. 36-34, under 2 minutes to go in this first half. A good start to our doubleheader on the PAC Sports Network. Katie Sig comes in and stops. McLean outside, three for Fertig, good! Nine points, another player off the bench there, and now Chatham again with the lead. Tori Bolton. McKinnon at the top of the key, guarded loosely by McLean. McKinnon thought about the three, inside to Parker, down low, Lawhorn again.
Great passing, nice sequence by the Presidents there, as Lawhorn has 12. Feeding it inside with quick, precise passes. That's beautiful basketball.
Under 60 seconds to go in this first half. McLean thought about the three for a moment, driving into the paint, puts up a shot, and it falls. 8 points for McLean, and again, the Cougars have the lead. Lead going back and forth. Parker into the corner, a three, no good. Fight for the rebound, and the Cougars have it.
Now here's your advantage, or I guess you need time to take advantage. Shot clock and game clock not too far off. You can pretty much hold it here. Just a few seconds left in the half. Trying to get that shot off to really expand your lead before halftime.
About a 3-second advantage with the shot clock as Sig will drive in. She takes one nearly at the buzzer and knocks it down. And the Cougars are going to have a halftime lead. Katie Sig with 17. And the Chatham Cougars with a 41-38 lead as we go into the half. And this certainly has to be a surprise to a handful of people. And you know the St. Vincent Bearcats would love to hear the score right now. But Coach Sauer, you have to be very happy with how this team has come out and played in the first half.
As we mentioned at pregame, I'm sure he had his team ready to go and prepped for this big opportunity, and that's what it is. If you can get a win on the road, this team specifically hasn't lost 30 games to W&J, but you don't want that hanging over your team. If you can change that, snap the winning streak for the Presidents, that'll be huge for your organization moving forward.
And although Coach DeRubo would like to not see it as a major factor, it appears that this team is sort of missing Lauren Gilbert after what we saw in the first half.
And you know what? It's not that they played bad by any means. W&J looked very good, especially in the first quarter. Plenty of shots taken, very accurate shots, very smart shooting. A lot of rebounds too, but in the second quarter, things sort of changed. You saw Chatham really take the qualities that W&J had in the first quarter and use it to their advantage in the second quarter. A lot of just tossed up three balls from W&J, and I think that's what led to this back and forth competitive contest here at halftime.
And we'll take a break and send it to our halftime show. Today, Randy Gore sitting down with reigning PAC Coach of the Year, Gina DeRubo of the W&J women's basketball team. That's next, right here on the PAC Sports Network.
The biggest thing with Consolidated is their customer service. They treat you like a preferred client, even if you're just starting with them.
They've truly taken the time to understand who we are as a business and recommend the best product and services based upon that knowledge of who we are.
Being able to rely on a technology partner like CCI to provide the fiber backbone means that our internet signal is completely reliable. I can't recommend any other parties. Consolidated is my first choice.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
Welcome back on the Halftime Show on the PAC Sports Network, and today we're joined by W&J head coach Gina DeRubo. Coach, thanks as always for joining us. W&J riding the wave of an 11-game winning streak, longest winning streak in about 9 years here at W&J. How pleased are you with where the team is at this point in the season?
Right. Thrilled. This team has been great. We lost 4 games in a row at the beginning of the year, which also hasn't happened in a long time. We just kept talking to the kids about sticking with it. It's a process. We're so young, and they've just bought in completely. This group is fantastic. They're so coachable. They come to practice every day. They work hard. I mean, they are a joy to coach. I don't say that every year, right? But this has been a fantastic group, and to win 11 in a row, it's fun. They're enjoying it. We just hope we keep it going.
PAC opener was a loss, not to bring up a loss, but since then you haven't felt defeat. That PAC opener against St. Vincent, you were able to atone for that with a win on Monday of this week at St. Vincent. Talk about that win for WJ, 1-point victory, hard fought, well earned, and to get that to, at this point, being a tie for first place.
Well, that first time, we had said all along going into that game, we wish we didn't play them first because we were so young, starting 2 freshmen. We have a freshman point guard, which is a really hard position to be a freshman. So playing them so early was really, I think, a negative for us. And we kept talking to them about getting better, and they have. So that game on Monday was huge. It was a great win for us. We came from behind. We could have gotten frustrated because we didn't start out so well. They were on a real high and making shots, and we kind of pulled it together. And Danielle Parker, I was so proud of her after that game. So many times over her career, we talked about this after the game, we've asked her to step up, and she wasn't ready. She would miss a shot or turn it over, and I said to her after the game how proud we were of her that she did it. She stepped forward and she led the team, and if you would have been at that game and watched her performance, we weren't losing. She wasn't having it. So it was a really kind of a defining moment for her and how she's matured over the years for her to be able to step forward and kind of take over that game.
And your 11-game winning streak hasn't come without adversity. That game, a good example. Unfortunately, Lauren Gilbert, one of your very good sophomore players, went down with an injury in that game. Your team was behind at the time. You're able to come back, take the lead, and ultimately win it. What does that win in that game, considering those circumstances, describe about the resolve of your team this year?
I think one thing that we've talked about all year, and if you see us play, is on any given night somebody different. I mean, Danielle's been very steady, obviously, but we've had Ali Cito have a career high game. We've had Maria Lawhorn have a career high game. So that's kind of been who we are this year. And everybody in the gym on Monday when it happened knew Shatori's. Yeah, it was like that classic injury that you're like, oh, that's probably what it is. So, you know, we pulled him over and just said, hey, this team has been bigger than one player all year. Now, we hate to lose Lauren. She's kind of been the backbone of this team, her and Danielle. But they did they held it together, and other people made big plays, and we were able to come back from behind. And I think that says a lot for our kids, knowing that we weren't ahead and held on to a lead while she went out. We were behind, and we were still able to come back and win. So I think that kind of was a confidence booster for us and for the players for sure, and how they responded to that. And they just know somebody else's time. They got to step up. That's what this team has been about. So we keep talking about that like it's somebody else's turn. So we kind of have to go with that approach.
As far as Lauren, all of us on the PAC Sports Network offer our best wishes. Hopefully she's able to get well soon and get back on the court as soon as possible.
We hope so too.
You mentioned Ali Cito. Fortunately, she had her career best performance in one of our broadcasts here on the PAC Sports Network, so we always appreciate that. But she's had a great sophomore year. Talk about her and how she's been able to break out this season.
You know, she's such a hard worker, and Allie's her own worst enemy. She's a perfectionist, and her issues have been she's always getting a little frustrated with herself, and then she tends to disappear. Did that a lot as a freshman, which you expect, you know, freshmen to kind of go through that. But we really worked with her and talked with her this year about, you got to go to the next play. You know, you can't pout about it. You can't you're not going to be perfect. So she's been more consistent. She's still been a little up and down, but definitely more consistent than last year. And, you know, when she hits her stride, she is unstoppable. I mean, she's such an athlete, such a competitor, and she's just a fighter, you know, and she's had more highs than lows this year, and she's got 2 years left, so we're really excited about her.
And Danielle Parker, of course, your senior leader for this year's team, and she continues to climb the ranks as far as the all-time scoring list, rebound list, so on and so forth. You know, she's always been a very good player, but it seems like she's taken her game to another level. You know, what's been the reason that she's been able to do that?
Well, I think the team surrounding her is a bit different. You know, they're young, and they look to her, and she knows it. And, you know, we spent a lot of time in the preseason just talking about leadership and what a young group needs. And she's been there, and she has carried this team even in practice. You know, every coach knows you have some practices that aren't great, and she's stopped and huddled them up, and we get back at it. So she's really, I think for her, she's thought less about herself this year and her performance and more about how to get the most out of some other people, and it's helped her, you know, by not thinking about herself. I think she's really stepped up her game, and she's been consistent. She's really having fun with it. You know, I think in years past she's been a little stressed over it, and you can tell just watching her, she's enjoying it, and she's loving every minute of it, and she wants a championship. So that's what we're going for.
A large group of freshmen and a great freshman recruiting class that you brought in again this year. But how have they been able to blend together so quickly? You talked about earlier on in the interview about how they've been able to continually progress as the season's gone along, especially after some of the early losses. How have they been able to do that and really develop that chemistry so quickly?
Well, one, they're really good kids, and they work really hard, and some of it is they literally had to grow up because there was no other choice. We have one senior, Jordan Melka is a senior as well, but there's her first year playing, and one junior. So what choice did they have, right? You throw them into the fire and see what happens. So they got a lot of game experience early, and we knew they're gonna make mistakes. You know, we have a freshman point guard, and she's really good, and she's feisty, but she's gonna make mistakes. So we knew as a staff, like, you gotta kind of live through it, work them through it, and just keep going and getting better. So film work and bring kids in one-on-one to say, here, you know, look at this, and they have bought in, and practices are really competitive, which makes your team a lot better. But they're a close group outside of basketball as well. They get along, they enjoy each other, and they're a lot of fun.
freshman point guard, as you talked about, Kylie McKinnon, one of the top assist players in the PAC, very prolific in dishing out the basketball. Tell us a little bit about her, and obviously you have to have a lot of confidence in her to put her out there as a freshman point guard.
Yeah, a little nerve-wracking at first, but again, we just said you got to live with her mistakes. She's really fast. I think so for her. I mean, she is a fireball, right? She gets after it. So for her, trying to calm her down at times, because she knows one speed. So her and I will watch film and talk about, and even in practice, I make her coach her team in practice, so she can learn what the right shot is or tempo. So I think she's done a really good job of learning tempo, and she's still learning that. Because she's always the first one. She could always be the first one down the floor. I'm like, sometimes you have to slow down so somebody else can get in front of you. So those are the things we continue to work on, is just her knowledge of the game, and controlling tempo and time and a shot clock and those kinds of things, that she really is getting better and better every single game. And we're really excited she's a freshman.
Last season, for the 7th time, you were named the PAC Coach of the Year. What does it mean to you to be recognized by the PAC in that way?
It feels great to have the respect of the other coaches in the conference. I think this conference is a little different than most of the coaches actually get along pretty well and are very friendly, and I think you don't see that in a lot of conferences across the country. So, to have their respect for me and our program means a lot.
And looking forward, obviously the goal for every team in the league is to win a PAC title. You guys are near the top of the list right now, tied for first place in the standings. What does your team need to do to go to the final and win it?
Well, I think we need to keep doing what we're doing now. Is just getting better every game, and we need some of our guards to step up. We've got to adjust to playing without Lauren, which is a big adjustment. So we've just got to, get our guard play a little more active on the perimeter, and that'll take a little bit of time. Lauren was playing 36 minutes a game, so we may need to develop a guard a little bit quicker than we have, and so that's what we'll work on over the next month.
That's W&J head coach Gina DeRubo. Coach, as always, thanks for your time and good luck. We'll have the second half of today's ball game when we come back on the PAC Sports Network.
First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County has the convenience and service you can expect, including 24/7 banking. Download the First Federal mobile app or log on to firstfederalofgreene.com to access your account information, check your balances, pay bills, deposit checks, or even get started with a mortgage pre-qualification, all from your phone, tablet, or computer. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. Visit firstfederalofgreene.com for more information. When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Welcome back into Washington and Jefferson on the PAC Sports Network, the Henry Memorial Center. Donnie Chedrick and Jared Barton with you on PACstream.net. Amanda Sloan, our producer, Nate Rigotti, our cameraman for this one. The women's game starting out, I would probably say better than what we expected coming in. W&J, normally a pretty good power in the PAC in terms of women's basketball, and the Chatham Cougars right now in the middle of the conference, normally middle to low part of the conference, especially whenever you're having a first-year head coach, David Sauer, at the helm. But he said his team likes playing on Saturdays, and I think they proved it in that first half. Just a 3-point game, and the Cougars, in fact, have the lead.
Speaking of leads, 9 lead changes in the first half. That's pretty crazy. It was back and forth, really, with these two teams, especially in the first quarter, or the second quarter, I should say. We saw some really intense basketball from both sides, and you keep that up, it's going to be a great game down the stretch.
Looking at some of the highlights from that first half in terms of player numbers, Katie Sigg had 17 for the Chatham Cougars. Ali Cito only with 10 points, so a correction there. We had her down for 12, or at least I did, so a missed missed baskets somewhere, so she only has 10 points. 12 points for Maria Lawhorn. Quite the first half for her off the bench. Those are the two leading scorers on each side for this one. As the Chatham Cougars will start this second half with possession of the basketball and things get underway. Chatham going from left to right. It is McLean. Megan Sigg at the top of the key. Now McLean inside Katie Sigg. 3 ball put up. Fertig in and out.
Trying to keep going with the hot hand that they were rolling with heading into halftime. Fortunately, though, it bounces out of the hoop.
You almost don't want to go to the half if you are the Chatham Cougars, because this squad shot 7 of 9 from beyond the arc in the second quarter. 50% from 3 in that first half. 10 of 20 were the Chatham Cougars. Shot put up no good for W&J. Ball thrown back out. And now Danielle Parker in the corner. Inside, Cito will take a shot from the block, no good. And the Cougars come back with it quickly. It's Megan Sigg trying to charge in. Great defense. And Johnston comes back with it. Advantage W&J, puts one up off the glass and in.
Beautiful move after getting the steal on the other end, and Hannah Johnston has 4 points.
A 41-40 advantage for the Chatham Cougars. They have never defeated W&J in women's basketball, a career record of 0-30. 3 for Megan Sigg, no good.
And now this is sort of the rut that W&J was falling into in the second quarter, where you're taking a lot of outside shots and not having any success while also giving up points on the other end. So you got to make sure that you get that ball back and put some points on the board.
And Katie Sigg with a steal. She comes in, loses control of it, and now a fight for it, and Megan Sigg comes up with it in the corner. Now back out, it is Caitlin Fertig. Fertig hands it off to Ashley McLean. You can sort of see the difference just in the three-point numbers. W&J, 3 of 17 from beyond the arc in the first half. Chatham, 10 of 20. Katie Sigg, a 3, no good. The shot clock was running very low, so she just fired one up.
And it was a good look. Bounces off the rim and out, though.
Johnston trying to get it down low, and it's taken away from Cito. Fertig drives in herself, now back out, and the ball thrown out of bounds, but it was deflected, so it does stay with Chatham. And now coming into the game is Maria Lawhorn, who leads the Presidents with 12 points off the bench.
Yeah, she was looking good in the first half. As you mentioned, not a starter. Clean shots, though, from Lawhorn there in the first.
McLean, sort of a lazy pass, and now great defense the other way by Megan Sigg as she was behind 2-on-1. McKinnon just tried to drop it off, but it was swatted out of the air. Presidents do have possession, down 1. Down low to Lawhorn, now back out, still in the paint to Danielle Parker, missing a shot. Fight for the rebound, and the Cougars come up with it. Katie Sigg driving in. Top of the key, Megan Sigg. Left side, Fertig, a 3, yes! 4 threes in the game. Caitlin Fertig, the freshman out of Bethel Park, makes it a 4-point lead again.
Fantastic shot from the wing.
Biggest lead in that first half for Chatham was 5. And now it's back down to 2.
Hannah Johnston puts up the easy bucket, giving her 6.
Johnston with the only points for W&J in the second half so far, but just a few minutes into the third quarter. A battle for the basketball. Bodies all over the place. Fertig an open 3. Back rim, no good. Ungerman a rebound. Back outside to Katie Sigg. She puts up 1 and blocked away by Danielle Parker.
Weird sequence of events there on the floor. I thought it was going to be called a jump ball. Referee holding off, though, not blowing the whistle, keeping the play going.
McDaniel in and out. Parker throws 1. And now back outside, McDaniel. A 3 attempt. She gets her own rebound. Underneath to Parker. Up off the glass and in.
Feeding a dangerous pass inside, but Danielle Parker able to finish. 7 points on the afternoon for Parker.
All knotted up at 44. Chatham trying to climb into the top 4 in the PAC and trying to do a great service to the St. Vincent Bearcats, who have the Presidents right on their trail after a W&J win in that series on Monday. 3 on the shot clock. Sig, not even knowing it, throwing up a shot, no good.
Wouldn't have counted anyway. Violation was called.
Did not get it off in time, so great defensive possession for W&J. And something else that is going under the radar, the Presidents playing 3 games in a single week. That could certainly play a factor into this one. Even though you have won 11 in a row, you lose one of your starting key players in Lauren Gilbert. And then you play your 3rd game in a matter of 5 days. Shot put up again by Lawhorn, and they call it a 3, but we do have a discussion. It will be called a 2.
Foot was on the line.
A deep 2 from Lawhorn. She now has 14, and the Presidents are back on top.
Just a smooth shot, though, from Lawhorn, and we saw it plenty in the first half, carrying it over here into half number 2.
A 6-0 run for the Presidents. Halfway through the 3rd, Katie Sig thought about pulling up. Megan Sig will do so. No good. Ungerman, a big rebound. Back outside McLean from the top. No good. It misses everything. And W&J gets possession back.
Good bounce if you're a Presidents fan. Some nice open looks there for Chatham, but they don't cash in.
And now the full court press being put on, but the Presidents get across half court. McKinnon on the wing. Got to hope the men's game lives up to the build that this one has had. Presidents passing around, driving in the lane and putting up a shot. One-hander is good from Alina McDaniel. A 4-point W&J lead. Sig from the top. Yes! Her first points of the second half. She has a clean 20.
Leading all scorers.
Shot up underneath by Stetler is no good. But she is fouled, so heading to the free throw line.
Ungerman charged with the foul. First free throw is good.
And Stetler is 3 for 3 from the line today. Ungerman checking out. A 2-point lead for W&J. As we are well into this 3rd quarter. Barkley trying to get it back out to Katie Sig. She can't do so. A steal. Presidents back the other way. Shot is up. Count it. And the foul. Alina McDaniel has 6. And she can try to make it 7.
Great move all around. McDaniel gets the steal, finishes down low, and is fouled, plus gets that extra point. So up to 7 for the afternoon for McDaniel.
Presidents make it a 6-point lead. Largest lead in this game for W&J was 7. It was a 41-38 Chatham lead at the half. Barkley driving in. 5 on the shot clock. Katie Sig outside to Megan Sig. Corner 3. Yes! The threes continue to fall and a timeout on the floor. 53-50. W&J leads Chatham. We'll take a break as well on the PAC Sports Network.
Begins here on a beautiful campus in southwestern Pennsylvania. At Waynesburg University, students become leaders in education, in business, in government, and science. They learn to tackle real-world issues with innovation and purpose, and are prepared for these roles within a community that fosters spiritual growth. Waynesburg University, a tradition of faith since 1849.
3-point lead for W&J. Around 3 minutes to go in our third quarter of play on the PAC Sports Network. Coach David Sauer in year number 1 on the bench for the Chatham Cougars women's basketball team. Gina DeRubo in year 15 with the W&J women. Trying to get it inside, and Sierra Short going to be called for the foul as Lawhorn had no chance to get that one.
Stays with the Presidents. Good opportunity offensively to expand on their lead.
Lawhorn, who has 14, leads the way for the Presidents. Cito underneath, puts up a shot, no good, but she does get 2 free throws.
She was the star player of the first half for the Presidents. Kind of quiet here in the third quarter, but could be a critical couple free throws here for Cito.
Another foul quickly on Sierra Short. First shot is good. So 11 points now for Cito. W&J had a 20-14 lead after the first quarter. Second one is also good. Then Chatham outscored the Presidents 27-18 in the second frame to go into the half with a lead. W&J up by 5 here. McLean to Katie Sigg. Across the court to Megan Sigg, a 3. That one no good, too strong. Battle for the rebound. The Presidents have it, and a tie-up is called, and it will favor the Presidents.
They had McDaniel falling to the court with clear possession, and then one of the Sigg sisters got her hands on it to force the jump ball. But Presidents had that one pretty much the whole way, so it's good that they get the ball back.
They break through on the press. Here's a medium 2 put up, no good. McDaniel was off the mark. Three for Katie Sigg. Back rim, no good. Rebound fought for. Chatham has it. Megan Sigg. She misses. Another loose ball, and Katie Sigg comes up with it. Stop and pop 3. Third chance, no good. And another rebound for Chatham. A great possession here, but you really want to end this one in points.
Yeah, most definitely. You can't afford another miss, especially being down by 5 right now. Got to have something out of this possession.
Megan Sigg back outside to McLean. She makes it count. Ashley McLean has 11, and Chatham back within 2. Four threes taken on that possession alone. The Houston Rockets of the President's Athletic Conference.
They like shooting the deep ball.
Sometimes it keeps you in games. Doing so here. Ball thrown wide, out of bounds. And Chatham down by 2 will get a shot with under a minute to go in the third.
Critical to tie this one up and have this thing tied heading into the fourth frame. Momentum still, I think, with the Cougars here in enemy territory.
McLean going to take a break. Sebula into the game for the first time. She has it on the wing. Megan Sigg, no good from 3. And the Presidents get it down low. McDaniel to Cito low, and she is fouled by Megan Sigg.
Cito will head to the line.
A 2-point advantage for the Presidents. And Cito knocks down her first. She has been perfect from the line so far. And has 13 points. Megan Williams into the game for the first time tonight. This afternoon, I should say. Second one, no good. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds on W&J, so the Cougars get it down by 3.
Fouls on.
That's
Lawhorn.
They get Lawhorn for a foul. So regardless, Chatham with possession. Shot clock is off in the third. Pass trying to get it inside. Stolen away by Cito. Under 10 on the clock. Here comes McDaniel. Going to try and run in. Here's Lawhorn underneath. Puts up a shot, no good. And after three, the game again separated by 3. This time the Presidents have the lead, 56-53. 10 minutes to go in this one. Final quarter of play next on the PAC Sports Network.
The biggest thing with Consolidated is their customer service. They treat you like a preferred client, even if you're just starting with them.
They've truly taken the time to understand who we are as a business and recommend the best product and services based upon that knowledge of who we are.
Being able to rely on a technology partner like CCI to provide the fiber backbone means that our internet signal is completely reliable. I can't recommend any other parties. Consolidated is my first choice.
First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County has the convenience and service you can expect, including 24/7 banking. Download the First Federal mobile app or log on to firstfederalofgreene.com to access your account information, check your balances, pay bills, deposit checks, or even get started with a mortgage pre-qualification, all from your phone, tablet, or computer. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. Visit firstfederalofgreene.com for more information.
Final quarter to play from the Henry Memorial Center in Washington, PA, on the campus of Washington and Jefferson College. Donnie Chedrick and Jared Barton with you for the first half of the men's and women's doubleheader between W&J and Chatham. Nate Rigotti will step in for me for the men's action in this one, but 10 minutes of regulation to go, a 56-53 lead for W&J after outscoring Chatham 18-12 in that third quarter. But Chatham with possession to start this final quarter of play, down by 3. And we know far too well today this team can certainly tie it up on one shot. McLean to tie it, no good, back rim. Here it comes the other way. McDaniel. Back to McKinnon. And now Lawhorn. Lawhorn with 14 in this game. She's going to drive in from the block. Fouled.
It's a way to generate some offense through some fouls. Lawhorn heading to the line.
Fertig calling for the foul, her third. Maria Lawhorn puts it down, 15 points, and could come to be a factor later on for us after the game. We will be naming our Foster Law Office's player of the game, and it could certainly be Maria Lawhorn. 16 points in this one. Katie Sigg, no good. Rebound for the Presidents.
Look, and I know that Chatham's forte is taking the three-point shot, but there's been a lot of irresponsible three-point shots from that team in the second half, and I think that's what's led to this disadvantage that they're really seeing. They're not trying anything inside. It's been all pop and shoot from the three-point line. If you go inside and try to get some points, underneath the hoop from mid-range, you're going to be in a better spot and you're going to keep this thing close.
And almost with a fear of Danielle Parker down low. Bouncing it out again, Katie Sigg, no good. And like you said, if you get cold from beyond the arc, that will be the death of a team in an individual game. 5-point lead for the Presidents. Parker, a three of her own, no good. But a rebound for the Presidents. Cito underneath, blocked away, and Parker gets it back. She's caught in traffic. Lawhorn has it at the foul line, and she travels.
Okay, now if you're Chatham, this is a good opportunity. Slow the pace down. 8 minutes roughly to go here in the game, down by 5, don't pull up a three-point shot. Get inside and try to get some points inside, because you haven't had any points in a long while because you're trying to just take too many threes.
Something tells me they might shoot a 3.
We'll see.
Fertig drives in, but you were right. They'd go for a 2 and knocked away. Good defensive play by Danielle Parker, and that might be part of it too, just an absolute fear of Danielle Parker underneath.
Got to take a page out of their opponent's book, though. Need to see a lot of crisp, smart passing, something that W&J is very good at. Saw it throughout this game today.
We have a foul on Caitlin Fertig, 4th foul for her. Fertig has 12 off the bench. But she will stay in. The pass goes wide. McKinnon and McDaniel. Some miscommunication. And right there is where you see, as it is 2 freshmen out there, some miscommunication that could come be a factor. And we've talked about Lauren Gilbert plenty in this broadcast about her injury and about how that could play a factor for W&J the rest of the way. That's sort of the thing you don't see with her in the command spot for W&J. Katie Sigg puts up a 2, so they're listening to the advice a little bit, but the 2 ball sort of just getting floated up there whenever they get somewhere near the basket.
Right, it's not exactly a full-on shot. It's pretty much just throwing it up as sort of a prayer down low as they're being out-defended.
McKinnon fakes it first, but thrown into traffic, stolen by Sigg, and she draws a foul.
It's a great move down low. Sigg creating an opportunity for Chatham, getting the ball back into their hands. Only down by 5, so there's no reason to get into panic mode yet.
Foul called on Ali Cito, her 3rd. McLean to Sigg, and now Fertig a 3. This one no good.
They've been ice cold now beyond the arc. Started in the 3rd quarter, and it's really carried over here into the 4th.
3-point shooting in that 3rd quarter for Chatham, 25%, just 4 of 16. Megan Sigg to Ashley McLean. Now Katie Sigg at the top. Fertig, everybody out around the arc, if you notice as well. Maybe one body at a time down low, but really just as the team goes through the offensive motions. Katie Sigg a 3, got it.
Finally breaking up some of the bad shots, I guess you could say. But Katie Sigg really taking advantage now with 23 points on the afternoon.
23 and a full timeout. Just over 6 minutes to go. A 58-56 W&J lead here on the PAC Sports Network.
Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County has the convenience and service you can expect, including 24/7 banking. Download the First Federal mobile app or log on to firstfederalofgreene.com to access your account information, check your balances, pay bills, deposit checks, or even get started with a mortgage pre-qualification, all from your phone, tablet, or computer. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. Visit firstfederalofgreene.com for more information.
You can't just wait for it. You have to go get it. You have to push yourself, because limits only begin when hustle stops. You have to work together, because you can't get there on your own. You'll have support, because you're more than just a name on a list. And then you'll get there. That's success. And I hope it's ready for me, because I'm ready for it.
A 2-point advantage for W&J as we have just over 6 minutes to go in regulation here on the PAC Sports Network. Probably a score at this point where we didn't really expect, Jared. Coming into this game, we thought W&J would probably have a handle on it for most of the time, but the Chatham Cougars have really come out to play today, shooting well enough from beyond the arc to stay in it as Cito is pulled down but fouled. She will head to the free throw line The Cougars really banked on a big-time second quarter where this team scored 27 points, including 77% from three-point.
And also rolled into halftime with the lead. That since is gone. WJ has been the better team here in the third and fourth quarter, but still a valiant effort by the Cougars coming in here. 0-30 career against this school in W&J, and they still have an opportunity to pull out a big victory here today.
They're pushing it back down the floor. McLean for the lead. No good. This team fires up threes at an astronomical rate. In the game, coming into the quarter, they had 36 three-point attempts. Shot good underneath by Danielle Parker. She has 9. They have kept Parker in check for the most part. Another 3 for Sig. No good. Parker the board. Parker, however, could really end up with a double-double because she pretty much gets the rebounds on the missed threes. Seemingly just needs one more point. Cito to Parker. Trying to get it to Allen inside, no good. Cito fighting for it. And the Cougars knock it away. It was Barkley who knocked it out of bounds. A 4-point President's lead with under 5 to go. Megan Williams into the corner to Bolton. Underneath, Cito a shot, tipping the ball around. The shot clock did expire. There's Katie Sig back the other way. McLean thinking about that 3. Fertig, Megan Sig, there's a 3. Off the back of the rim and no good. This is something I haven't really seen at this level in men's or women's basketball. The amount of threes taken by the Chatham Cougars is really something to behold.
Abandoning the inside game is definitely, I don't think, the road that the Cougars want to go down right now, but obviously that is their strength, we know. But you got to get something going because the 3, other than a couple of them here just in the last few minutes, has been pretty silent.
Full timeout called by W&J. We'll take one as well. 60-56 on the PAC Sports Network.
Whether you're a traditional college-bound student, busy adult, or an advanced degree seeker, Geneva College offers degree programs tailored to your professional goals and personal commitments. Online or on campus, you'll enjoy personalized attention and a supportive Christian community of inspiring scholarship. Complete your degree in business, engineering, education, counseling, or one of 50 other programs. Geneva College. Step forward, leap ahead. Head to geneva.edu to get started.
Just over 4 minutes to go in regulation. W&J with a 4-point lead. The first half of our men's and women's doubleheader here on the PAC Sports Network. Nate Rigotti will step in and join Jared Barton for the men's half of the doubleheader after this. And we can only hope it lives up to what this game has brought us. Presidents with possession and a 4-point lead. Largest lead in this game for W&J has been 7 points. Under 5 on the shot clock. A runner, no good for McDaniel. Rebound for Chatham, and a foul to send it the other way anyway.
W&J foul on number 10, Ali Cito.
That is number 4 on Ali Cito.
Down by 4, the Cougars. See if they can cut this lead in half.
Katie Sig losing it for a moment, but gets it back, running into a lot of trouble. McLean, Megan Sigg trying to drive in. Ungerman underneath, fumbles it a little bit but gets it back. Ashley McLean drives in, blocked away by Danielle Parker. Here comes Megan Williams. She's swatted by Megan Sigg.
Great defense down on our left side. Big block. Keep this game within 4. Possession stays with the Presidents, but really just diffused a very good opportunity for W&J to expand the lead.
That little block party at the Henry Memorial Center. Danielle Parker and Megan Sigg. Stolen away for Chatham. Fertig has made all threes today. She has 12. Here is McLean on the wing. Replaced by Katie Sigg. Driving in, now Fertig, she'll take a 3 and knock it down again.
Fertig up to 15.
5 3-pointers made in this game, and the lead is just 1 with around 3 minutes to go.
Gearing up for a close one here down the stretch as we hit the 3-minute mark of this game.
And a couple of key players in big-time foul trouble. Caitlin Fertig has 4. Ali Cito has 4. She puts up a shot, no good. Gets her own rebound, misses again. Another rebound, throws it out. Almost a travel, but able to keep it together was Kylie McKinnon. She's at the top of the key. McDaniel, a shot, deep 2, good.
Nine points for McDaniel.
That's a big shot at this point in the game. It keeps some separation. McLean trying to tie it. She does. And we have another timeout. McLean has 14. It is all tied up at 62 with just over 2 to go on the PAC Sports Network.
Faith and freedom are far-reaching matters for us. The freedom to pursue a calling in life, and the faith that it will make a big difference. The freedom to use the value of an education to pay it forward, and a Christian faith to make it count. At Grove City College, faith and freedom create opportunities. And that's why faith and freedom matter.
Tied game. Just over 2 minutes to go on the PAC Sports Network. And again, not what we expected coming in, but W&J getting taken right to the point of attack from the Chatham Cougars, and great three-point shooting and timely three-point shooting, more importantly for Chatham, has kept this squad in the game. Driving in is Johnston. She is fouled.
On the floor. Shot won't count.
Looks like Megan Sigg getting called for it, her second foul. 23 points for Katie Sigg, 15 points for Caitlin Fertig off the bench. McKinnon, who has just 2. Hannah Johnston on the wing. At the top, it is McDaniel. Parker sets a screen. Now trying to get it into Lawhorn. Some separation there. McKinnon able to pick it up and pass it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Down low to Parker. Losing control. Back into Lawhorn from the block. Good off the glass.
Fantastic sequence there for W&J. Getting that shot in right before the shot clock expires.
Fertig for the lead. No good. Rebound by Ungerman. Back out to Fertig. Megan Sigg drives in, puts it up. Good. Around a minute and tied at 64. Parker at the elbow. Down low to Lawhorn off the glass and in. Lawhorn has 20 and another timeout. 66-64 W&J, right around a minute to go here on the PAC Sports Network.
We've got a full timeout on the floor.
The coaches of women's basketball. We are leaders and teachers, dreamers and winners. We are professionals who conduct ourselves ethically and with integrity. We place the education, safety, and well-being of the athletes we coach above all else and teach them the fundamental values they need to succeed in life. We are coaches united for the good of our game and those who play it. We are the WBCA.
The biggest thing with Consolidated is their customer service. They treat you like a preferred client, even if you're just starting with them.
They've truly taken the time to understand who we are as a business and recommend the best product and services based upon that knowledge of who we are.
Being able to rely on a technology partner like CCI to provide the fiber backbone means that our internet signal is completely reliable. I can't recommend any other parties. Consolidated is my first choice.
66-64, just a 2-point game. W&J with the lead. Chatham with the basketball. Some great back and forth action all day and some great stuff these last few minutes. Donnie Chedrick and Jared Barton with you on the PAC Sports Network. Almost too close to call, just a 2-point game, but we know how Chatham's offense runs. A lot of threes have been taken, a lot of them have been made. They could have 1 or 2 more left in the bank, and they might need them. Right around a minute to go, and the Cougars will have the basketball to go the full length. McLean brings it up, crossing the timeline. Katie Sig at the top, a drive in and a whistle and a foul on W&J.
Looks like they're going to get Kylie McKinnon, the freshman guard. Push on the floor. Inbound opportunity here for the Cougars.
Third team foul, and again, 5 fouls in a quarter puts teams in the automatic double bonus. Dangerous pass. Megan Sig gets it and is bumped by Danielle Parker, who picks up a foul.
So they'll line back up to inbound it underneath the hoop again.
Ungerman. And that pass almost stolen away by Parker. Fancy play. And we get a foul on W&J. Fertig battled for it. And that is foul number 5 on the President. So 3 fouls in this single possession for Chatham. And that's a tough one because it looked like the Presidents had taken possession of the basketball. They get called for the foul. And now Chatham with a chance to tie things up at the line.
Not only that, was there contact that you saw there on the play? Because I didn't see any. Looked like a pretty clean takeaway from the Presidents, or for the Presidents. Now we're at an opportunity on foul free throws. Might tie this one up.
Fertig knocks down her first. She has 16 points off the bench. For the tie. No good. Rebound for the Presidents. It's McDaniel. A 1-point advantage for W&J. And about a 15-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
If you're the Presidents, you don't want a quick shot here.
Parker holding on to it. She had the open shot, but now another timeout called by Gina DeRubo. And we will keep it here. 66-65. W&J with a 1-point lead and roughly 15 seconds of difference between that shot and game clock. Jared, I know you're not a college basketball coach, but what's the sort of thing that you think Coach DeRubo is maybe drawing up here in this situation? You got to get a smart shot off because you want the 3-point advantage.
Most definitely. And you know what? I'm going to go back to what they did earlier in this game. You saw very orchestrated passing, precise passing coming from the Presidents at different points throughout this game. You're going to want to see something with a lot of quick passes, a lot of smart passes that gets some easy points, as easy as you can make it here with 26 seconds remaining.
So we will check back in. And it becomes a whole different situation if W&J does have the 3-point lead, because then you think about fouling Chatham perhaps whenever they have possession. Cito goes up and is fouled. So she gets a pair of shots.
Chatham foul on number 5, Katie Sig. Her second, team fifth.
2 fouls on Katie Sig. First shot for Cito is good. Chatham is that example team you think of on the defensive end that you want to foul and send right to the line. 15 and another timeout. So Chatham will get to bring it out from halfway up the floor. 15 points for Ali Cito. She's also playing with 4 fouls in this game. And now you're in a spot where if you are Chatham, you can maybe try to get a quick 3 off, but W&J probably looking to foul because of how dangerous you are from beyond the arc. They want to just take their chances and have Chatham shoot a couple of free throws.
Yeah, it would probably be the safer choice, as you mentioned. Their outside play can be dangerous at times. We've seen it in this game. So if you're W&J, you're looking to foul. You definitely don't want some last-second 3 ball to go up for Chatham, because when they go up, they usually fall.
Just have to be careful with the spot you're at on the floor. Chatham can maybe throw up a shot while being fouled and perhaps get the officials to give them the shooting foul. We did see 3 foul shots taken by Katie Sig in that first half that came on a missed 3-pointer. So something to always be cognizant of if you are the Presidents. As Coach Sauer's team is trying to pull this upset. What an effort, though, from the Chatham Cougars, coming off an 11-point loss at home to the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets, a team that is having a down season after missing a lot of key pieces from last year. The pass in and a foul. And that is on Megan Williams.
Send her right to the line.
First shot for Megan Siggett is good. Around 70% from the free throw line as she has 12. (68-66). Second one, good. Bounced off the back but fell in, and another TO as the lead is back down to 1. That's one of the things you get in any sort of close basketball game, filled with timeouts.
And fouls. And you can almost guarantee that the Cougars are going to try to foul here. You want to try to preserve that clock. You can't have it drain down, because at this point, the Presidents can go and run it out if they wanted to.
At what point Chatham should go for the steal or some sort of pressure to get W&J to turn the ball over? That would be ideal. But at what point does Coach Sauer want his women to foul in the spot where you don't want W&J to take too much time off?
Well, I think you want to have a defense that's going to be on almost like a press here, even though it's already in the offensive zone. You want as much pressure on every player as possible.
And that's what you get. McKinnon trying to run the baseline. She will throw it up. Ball thrown around, and now we do get the foul.
See, now you're in an interesting spot. They hit both of these free throws. You're still in a position where you could go and tie this with a 3, which is, of course, their shot. But again, on the other end, W&J will probably go and just foul. So it's really a chess match at this point, at the end of this game.
McDaniel around 61%, and she misses the first, and that now changes everything. Now you can't simply just foul. Chatham will get a chance to take a shot, and that could have been one of the keys there. Get it in the hands of somebody inexperienced. They do so. The freshman, Alina McDaniel, missing the first and missing the second, and the rebound goes to Chatham, and a foul.
Could be a complete swing right here for the Cougars.
Almost Nasir Robinson-esque for any Pitt fan that may be listening. A foul the whole way at the other end of the floor. And it puts Katie Sig, who you can't get much more veteran than this, to the free throw line. 1 will tie, 2 will give the lead. We're tied at 68.
my stats are correct, Sig got the 24 points. Really been carrying this team today.
And she does have 24.
The 25th will give her the lead.
And she got it. Nothing but net. 25 points and a timeout called, and the Chatham Cougars have a 1-point lead. 69-68. Just over 13 seconds to go. So really, a real turn for W&J there. You missed both free throws and then immediately foul, whether that was likely not part of the plan to foul if you miss both free throws. But now Chatham with the lead, having to play some defense down the stretch here. The Presidents, though, they have the capabilities of going down low. You have people like Danielle Parker, Ali Cito, and in this game especially Maria Lawhorn, who has 20.
Yeah, I mean, they have the players inside. That's not the problem, and you were definitely right. They were not looking to foul Chatham right off of the rebound of the second foul shot. Really a tough situation to be in if you're the Presidents.
Lawhorn is not on the floor. Danielle Parker is. She has it. Tries to hand it off. Ball goes free, and Chatham has it and is fouled.
What a swing of events.
The Cougars are moments away from pulling off a major PAC upset and picking up their first win in history against W&J in women's basketball. Miscommunication has hurt W&J down the stretch, and now Megan Sig has a chance. She makes it a 2-point game. She can make it 3. And that puts a lot of pressure on W&J to simply tie the game up. Makes them both. 71-68, and we get a foul on Chatham here that sends W&J to the free throw line.
Smart move. You don't want to have some sort of last-second final shot uncontested. Now that you have a 3-point lead, you got to bank on them hitting their foul shots.
First one for McKinnon. Good. Now, do you think about missing the second here? But there should be enough time left if you make it to have a couple more trips down the floor. She makes both.
You needed those points. Now you got a foul.
And Ashley McLean is fouled by Danielle Parker.
St. Vincent wins over Teal 94-74 in women's. So that game is over. It'll be all smiles for the Bearcats if Chatham can come up with a win here.
Yeah, not sure if Jimmy Petruska and his team is checking this one out at the moment. But a 15-point day for Ashley McLean. 72-70. Chatham has the lead. Second for McLean, no good. Here we go. 5 seconds to go. Here come the Presidents down by 2. The 3 for McDaniel in the win, no good. And the Chatham Cougars, for the first time in school history, beat W&J in women's basketball. Coach David Sauer in his first year as women's basketball coach at Chatham, getting the win, and a tough one to swallow for W&J. A major upset in the President's Athletic Conference this afternoon. A 72-70 win for Chatham over W&J. I don't know how the men's game tops this one.
I don't think it will. We just saw some great basketball between these two teams. If you're W&J, keep your head up, because that was a hard-fought contest against a team that came out and was ready to play, trying to snap that 30-game losing streak. They do so today.
And what a win for this Chatham Cougars team. We'll take a break. When we come back, name our Foster Law Office's Player of the Game here on the PAC Sports Network.
To leave renting behind? Let the friendly loan officers at First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County guide you through the mortgage process and make your homeowner dreams a reality. And if you're planning to take on the work yourself, ask about an owner-builder loan and be your own contractor. Already own your home and looking to finish a project? Consider using a home equity loan or line of credit from First Federal. From a new roof to a deck or patio, if you're planning an improvement, we're here to help. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. Visit firstfederalofgreen.com for more information.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
Teal College, a creative, energetic place that's rooted in academic excellence, innovation, and tradition, where motivated students become motivated graduates, where so much is so close. Teal College. That's where. Teal College, an energetic place focused on your academic and personal success, where so much is so close.
Teal College is now enrolling for its new sports management, exercise science, and health systems programs, and more. For more details, visit teal.edu.
We are leaders and teachers, dreamers and winners. We are the coaches of women's basketball, united for the good of our game and those who play it. We are the WBCA.
Welcome back to post-game coverage of PAC women's basketball here on the PAC Sports Network. An upset to kick things off to start our doubleheader today. The Chatham University Cougars defeating W&J 72-70 to kick off our day. The men's game hopefully living up to that hype in just a little bit. Foster Law Office's player of the game. Without further ado, it has to go to Katie Sigg today. Jared, 25 points, 8 rebounds in this game, 7 assists, 5 steals. She can do it all. She led this team in every way possible. A huge performance, not only by her, 15 points coming from Megan Sigg and Ashley McLean, and then 16 from Caitlin Fertig. But a great game for the Chatham Cougars, and the leader gets it done.
Yeah, it was led by the triple threat, as you mentioned. Megan Sigg and Ashley McLean included, that were shooting the big three-point shots that were falling early. That's what kept them in the lead at times and in this game. But you do have to tip your cap to Katie Sigg with a great game. 25 total points. Looking fantastic. Also, 8 for 9 from the charity stripe as well. That's huge.
Big time.
Need those big free points like that.
Big time down the stretch. Up next for Chatham, as the Cougars with the victory move to 6-5 in the PAC, 10-10 overall. What a first year for Coach David Sauer. Up next, a game at Grove City, so a tough one there as well. They play Grove City on Wednesday. Up next for W&J, a visit to Waynesburg. That one will be on the PAC Sports Network as well as the group with that one. Rob McKinney and John Spina will be on the air. Amanda Sloan is always producing. Randy Gore getting some work in that game as well. He will be on camera. That game at 6 o'clock on Wednesday at Westminster. But that will do it for us. Again, the win. Chatham 72, W&J 70. Stay tuned for men's action later on the PAC Sports Network.